Welcome to the Unbuttoned Up podcast, where career talk gets real and a little unbuttoned.
We're here to help you nail that interview, land that promotion, and figure out your next move without sounding like a corporate robot.
We are talking about what people actually think at work while helping you lead stronger and laugh a little bit harder.
So grab your coffee or a cocktail and let's get unbuttoned up. For our first episode, we want to tell you a little bit about who we are, why we started the podcast, and how we came up with our name, just so you know a little bit of our background and why we're here.
We are so excited to be here. We were actually just doing some jumping jacks ahead of time because we were so excited. So, Steph, I'll have you kind of kick it off, just telling us a little bit about ourselves. Not that we want to talk about ourselves too much, but just so you guys know a little bit more about us and why we wanted to do this.
Sure. One of the founders here at NextPath came here in 2018, have a staffing background of about 10 years. I mean, no one really goes into staffing or recruiting like I want to be a recruiter. Like no little girl or boy is ever saying that, you know? It's always like a doctor or a lawyer or a police officer, but never a staffer. So I think everyone kind of just falls into it, but it is a great career. But growing up, I always wanted to be a dentist. And I always told people I wanted to be a pediatric dentist and orthodontist. Only thing I ever wanted to be. Went to school for that, graduated college, took the DATs, applied to dental school. I never got in.
How many times? Okay.
4 to be exact. Not that we're counting. But that was the only thing I ever wanted. Whenever your plan kind of goes off track, you're kind of stuck. And so I became a dental assistant. So I was like, if I get some experience, then if I go apply again, then that will help my chances. But then I was a dental assistant for 7 years and I love the dental field. I love being in people's mouths, as weird as that sounds. I like teeth. Met a girl who was in staffing. She was like, why don't you just try an interview? And she knew I was a little unhappy with the unflexibility and hitting that glass ceiling. So I interviewed, I got the job and became a recruiter. A couple years into that, I was like, wow, I really like this. It was very rewarding. You're helping people find jobs. Worked my way up, became an account manager. Years later, left the job that I was in and helped start NextPath. I can't imagine being a dentist now. I can't imagine doing anything else. I love what I do. I love talking to people, helping people find jobs. You're changing people's lives. Anyways, I could go on. I could go on about it. That's one reason why I wanted to, do the podcast, is be able to share our stories and why we got to where we are. Tell stories of guests that we have on about their successes and failures. So that's really, the story behind me is I never planned to be where I am today, but everything happens the way it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. And here I am. And I feel like you have a similar story.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine not knowing Steph now that I know you, and you have a great smile. So I love that.
You
got
so
that
do you.
Dentist. No, but we do have very similar stories. We both wanted to be in the medical field. I wanted to be a nurse and never thought that staffing was a career either. And here we are today. And so we see this a lot, actually, just as we're having conversations with people, especially younger people who don't know what they want to do. They're looking at the horizon with technology, everything that's ahead, asking us questions. Hey, what is going to be a hot career in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? And we're having these conversations with these companies and learning a lot about what the future looks like, which is super exciting. And so we're wanting to talk about the real things that we get questions about all the time that people might not ask their company, might be afraid to talk to their family and friends about it too, because people really just show the buttoned up parts of life a lot. And we want to talk about some of those unbuttoned up things. So
Yes, exactly. Which you bring up a great point. The Unbuttoned Up podcast, our name and why we came up with it is exactly for that reason. We want this to be a real space where you can get a little unbuttoned. You can show your real self, your real side. Let's talk about the, down and dirty of, what happens behind all the corporate doors and stiffness of what people try to portray on the outside. Let's talk about the realness of it.
Absolutely. And we've already heard from some of you guys topics you want us to talk about, some questions that you have, which is already very exciting. We were not expecting that when we made our first announcement about this. So we have a lot ahead that we're looking forward to. And again, our careers changed completely. And when I kind of stepped back and thought about why I wanted to do this, not only is Steph amazing to work with here and be a friend with, we sit next to each other here at work, but also for me personally, I am an overthinker, if you know me. And so kind of in this transition period too right now where I care a lot about my job and I have focused so much on being so buttoned up. But now that I'm kind of learning how to manage time a little bit better, be more myself, things are going in a totally different direction now that I'm being more myself too. And we want to talk about that and not being so buttoned up with everything, which helps me not overthink so much too. So
absolutely. I'm 100% exactly the same page. But we also want to hear from you. Please email us at the unbuttoneduppodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn. We want to hear from you.
So remember to always stay bold and stay curious.
And always a little unbuttoned.
We'll see you soon.